Yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses. So, today is the full moon. One of my last lives that I'm going to be able to do for some time. So, today, I was looking at this post that said it was the full moon in Leo. Some people were saying it's the full moon in Virgo. Whatever the case is, this is the time for art, okay, for new sciences, for discovery, for healing, all right, for transformation, all right. Virgo represents the healer. Virgo represents the meditator. Virgo represents the thinker. Virgo represents the combination of earth and air. Leo, whatever the case may be, if it's a Leo or a Virgo moon, this is a very important time for art, for the metaphysical, for the metaphorical metaphysics, is what I like to call it personally. The time where you take these energies and you do what your will is telling you to do. All right, I was watching a very important video by Magical Lady Duchess, shout out to her, where she said, and I stopped it, and this is what inspired it, this video right here. I stopped it, and what Magical Lady Duchess said was, I can heal, there are workings that can be done to heal depression. For the most part, I'm still here. That's good enough for me. There are workings to be done that can be done that will heal depression, but you still have to do the work. And that's not something that people like to stress. The actual work, the actual action. I have a couple clients that I've healed their anxiety. I've eaten their anxiety. I've taken their anxiety out of their body. And they say, well, AaroniMoses, I went to the mall and I was shaking my hands. I'm like, did you do the work? Did you do the meditations? Did you eat that fire? Did you do what I tell you to do? And they said no. And that was their result. You have to do the work. I was going to make a video on how you can enhance or help usher in the magic that people do for you. You have to do the work. It's not all. This is not the movies. This is not hocus pocus. This is not the craft. It's none of those things. You have to do the work 110%. You can't just do the spell. You can't just light a good smelling candle and meditate. That's not how anything works. You thinking you saying a spell and lighting some incense is the equivalent of you filling out an application and getting mad over the fact that you're not getting paid. Or you might even get hired. You might show up for the first day, second day, but you know what? I don't like waking up at 6:30, but I did the magic, I did the ritual. All right? That's not how anything in life works. You must take action. You must have that fire. All right? Number one, you have to have a fire plan. Your plan has to, first of all, I advise everyone who's watching this video to do the research on how fire works, how the molecules vibrate, how they need oxygen, how it's very similar to water, how there needs to be a medium light, the different degrees of the lights in fire, to fully understand the message of this video, because my words will be irrelevant if you're not getting the actual science of the energy that I'm putting out. How's everybody doing today? My cold got worse because I did something I shouldn't have been doing. Actually, what I did was, when I was making one of my last videos, I turned that heater off, and then I forgot to turn it back on before I went to sleep, and I woke up, it was like 40 degrees in my room again, so that's why my cold came back. But you must have a fire plan. Your plan has to be based off of actual action, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. You have to be considerate in your plans. You have to know what is going to be sacrificed. You have to know why you are doing these things. You have to have a plan that is not only practical, that is not only creative, but practical. That is not only practical, but charitable. That is not only charitable, but charitable to yourself. All right? You have to make a fire plan, things that set chain reactions. You thinking you're not important is going to just kill everything. You affect everyone in this world. You affect a lot of people. And that is the first thing that you have to take into account. You doing this is going to affect your children, it's going to affect your mother. Your mother's health is going to improve. Your cousins are going to feel inspired. The people that see you on the street are going to want to wear the same clothing that you wear. Think of it like that, because that is facts. All right, make a fire plan that's going to set a chain reaction. It has to be that. Next, fire your old plans to get what you desire. The things that you have been doing 2 months ago are not going to work right now. Okay? Hopefully, if you have a new state of mind, the things that you've been doing in those last full moons and new moons, those things are simply not going to work because there's a new energy. Okay? You working those 40 hours a week last new moon or full moon, that's not going to affect you how it's going to affect you for the next new moon. All right? So you need to be analyzing what you need to be doing differently. It's very important. Now, we have the knowledge. Next, you have to set your knowledge on fire. How do you do that? Reading, having conversations, having meaningful conversations. All right? You have to fire your old knowledge. That is how you set your knowledge on fire. All right? We've already discussed this. When you learn to do new things, pieces of your brain cells fall off and die, and new brain cells are regenerated. For example, let's say if you said Illinois, all right, if you pronounce Illinois like Illinois, and I say, look, bro, that's not how you say it. It's actually Illinois. The S is silent. Pieces of your brain will fall off, and new parts will regrow where that memory was stored. All right, that is a fire ritual, bro. You have to set your knowledge on fire. You have to fire your old knowledge. Okay? Number one, quick example. Number one, study technology. Okay? All technology comes from biology. I'm going to give you a couple examples. The speakers. Speakers come from the ear. Speakers come from the technology of the ear. All right? The engine in a car comes from the digestive system. Okay, you put liquid in it, heats it up, turns it into a gas. Okay, you feed it something, turns it into something else, fuels it. Same way, you eat a piece of spinach, your mouth, your saliva liquefies it, liquefies it, turns it into a gas, and you become energized. You're able to move. It's your fuel. All right. Cameras are modeled after the eye. All of our technologies come from the human biology. Study technology. That's just something you can study. If you want to be a better teacher, you can study the Bible, you can study the Quran, you can study, pretty much my philosophy is, if you're a spiritualist, if you're a true creative, anything that you learn can be applied to any part of your life. You could study the science of a light bulb. if you're a personal trainer, and that should be applicable to your lifestyle. The fact that light bulbs, the light from a light bulb is not actually constant. It actually flickers faster than the naked eye can capture. That's why it looks like it's constant. That's not how light bulbs are not a constant pulse like the sun. That's not how light bulbs work, or they would explode. All right? Learn things like that. Fire your old knowledge. All right, next, meditations. Make sure your meditations are fire. All right. Next, we have that earth. Making sure you're bringing all of these elements into one. Making sure that if you want me to go back, the plan, that's water. Knowledge, that's air. Meditation is ether. And then this action overall is fire. So making sure that you mold these concepts together. That is the earth. That is earth. Networking. Make your networking fire. All right. Make how you speak to people, how you interact with people. Make sure that you are that molecule, that you are that medium, that you are that oxygen. All right. Making sure that your affirmations have real science to them, because a lot of you guys don't understand how affirmations work and how affirmations need to be personalized. For example, we'll say this affirmation: I love myself. I love myself. Now, that may work for one person. That sentence technology, that linguistic technology may work for one person. It might not work for you. You may be in such of a state of self-loathing that you saying I love myself could damage you more. If that is the case, your affirmation, the correct affirmation for you would be, I love to love myself. I love feeling self-love. All right. That might work for you. Try new affirmations. Okay. And when you find that correct affirmation, when you find that affirmation that aligns with you, make sure that you make it your duty to put them everywhere. Make a giant poster of it. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Put it on, your door. When you close the door, you have to look at it. Write it on your hat if you wear a lot of hats. Write it on your water bottle if you need a water bottle for work. Write it on the inside of your shoe. I mean, I don't think anybody looks on the inside of their shoes. Unless you live in Oklahoma or Arizona or anything, something like that. But if you watch a lot of TV, write that on your remote, making sure that you're surrounded with these affirmations, with these linguistic technologies that directly apply to you, directly work for you, because a lot of these affirmations are not engineered for everyone, just like spells, just like rituals, just like, incantations. They don't work for everyone, and that's fine. Find what works for you and put it everywhere. Constantly remind yourself. Put it in make it your wallpaper and your screensaver. All right. And then next, the most important thing, in my opinion, for doing the work, for making magic work, making the space, fire magic, purifying, cleansing, making the space for these workings to manifest. One example would be, if you're looking for a roommate to split the rent and you only have a 1-bedroom apartment, nobody's going to be willing to split the rent if your rent's $1,000. Why would somebody pay $500 to sleep in the living room on the couch when they can't even be comfortable? All right. If you want a roommate, make sure that you have a 2-bedroom apartment. All right. That's just one example. If you want a girlfriend, make sure that if you're looking for a girlfriend, make sure that you don't have a girlfriend. Make sure you don't have a significant other, a romantic partner. Things like that. Very simple to do. All right. If you want to make space for these workings to manifest themselves. Make sure you make the space. If you ask me to do a money ritual for you, you're going to have to do everything differently. You're going to have to go outside for an hour, extra 2 hours, talk to people. All right, plan on doing things differently. Very simple. Making the space makes sense for you at this time. Timing is everything. All right, space and time. That is the definition of the universe. 3/4 of it. All right, making the space, firing your friends, firing your family, firing your romantic partners, finding some fire friends, some fire romantic partners, and tapping into those family members that are fire for you. All right. If you want to be on this path of freedom, fire your job. All right. Not in every situation. I'm not saying that you need to quit your job to become a millionaire. Of course, you don't need to be pursuing your dream and be broke at the same time. You don't need to be pursuing your dream and be doing it off of someone's dime. You know, you need some lemons, not the limes. All right, firing your home. I know a lot of us don't like to max out to live somewhere comfortable. I'm certainly not doing that at this point. I know now is the time to save. But eventually, the home, the pyramid that I just chose, I'm going to have to fire that eventually. Fire your house, fire your apartment, fire your trailer, fire your condo. Okay, you're going to have to get somewhere new to live. It's not always supposed to be comfortable. It's not. That just doesn't make sense. That is not the definition of change. You cannot, change is never comfortable. Usually not. And if it is, run from it, because that's not it. That's not it. All right? Fire your old thoughts. Read books. You don't have to come home and smoke weed every day. The universe doesn't respect that. You don't have to come home and open a beer every day. Open a book. If you can open a beer, you can open a book. If you can open a bottle, you can open a book. Okay. If you can open Facebook, you can open a book. And I can assure you, it will feel much better going to sleep. If somebody asks you, even if you just want to be cocky about it, what you do last night? You was all mad. Man, I just went home and I just read my books. That's such a foreign language. People just look at me like, I'm like, yeah, I know how to read, right? And they're like, well, even I had somebody tell me, what, you in college or something? Why do I have to be in college to read books? Why do I have to be in college to own multiple books? Why? That's unfortunate. I'm not gonna call it anything negative other than unfortunate. It's sad. But for somebody to ask me if I'm a college student because I went home and I studied, I did some research, that is unfortunate. That gives me a big indication on where America is as a whole, where the working class is as a whole. This is why you work at all. I mean, irregardless of your workplace, this is why you're not your own boss. This is why you have to cry and listen to Tupac in the morning every day so you can go to work, because you don't read books. I can assure you that your life would have a lot less pain if you took an hour out of your day to read however many pages it would take you out of 2 books. Personally, I like to commit to 20 pages out of 2 books. I switch from the Wolf on Wall Street book to the Bible to another book that I read, 10 to 20 pages, and then I make a little Venn diagram and journal the similarities and differences between each book. What is so wrong with that? I can assure you that that will improve your lifestyle, whatever you do. Whatever you do. Okay? This is all fire. Fire. Alright? Fire is about putting the work in, not sitting around. Without great works, faith is dead. Yes, you have to have faith. Yes, and a lot of people's faith is based on fire. I mean, a lot of these things can be associated with multiple elements or different elements. But this is how the full moon is speaking to me to give you this message. It's time to set some stuff on, some shit, on fire, not some stuff. Set some shit on fire. Okay? Now is the time for fire meditations, for some meditations that are going to vibrate your molecules to the point where you need a medium, to the point where you need an extra lung to breathe, to the point where there's going to be lights that are unfamiliar to you, not only coming into your eyes, but coming out of your eyes. Okay, where you're going to have to touch somebody and transfer some of this heat to, where some people are going to not recognize you and resonate with you because you're about to fire their ass. Where the words that you use, they're not even a part of your repertoire of words anymore. That has to happen. There has to be fire, or everyone's going to be confused. Fire represents the willpower, the next, the kundalini, heaven, personal heaven, okay? Hell is cold. The hell that a lot of people believe in, why would it be hot? It's cold. Fire is the element of paradise. Fire is the element of transformation. Alright? It has to happen. Purification, cleansing. When you get a shot, when you get a splinter in your, when you got a splinter in your foot when you were a little kid, what did they do to the needle? Did they put water on it or dirt or blow on it? No, they put a flame to it. That's what you need at this point. Whoever and whatever you are. If you resonated with this message, share it. If you feel like I've blessed you with a new train of thought, with something new, that is going to embetter not only your family members and your loved ones, but you. Share this. If you found this information valuable, share this. All right? All my Messiahs out there, the 5th. The 5th. My birthday is coming up in a little bit more than 30 days. Around 40 more days. I'm moving into my new humble abode today. And that's it. Set everything on fire. And if you don't, your ass is grass. That weekly water for you. Hey.